Hi, Amira. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself, like where you are and,
Well, I'm from Algeria. I'm 23 years old, soon 24.
okay,
I finished my studies in 2020,
okay.
COVID year. I'm a
What?
microbiologist.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That was going to be my next question. Studies in what?
yes. I'm a microbiologist. I have a master degree, and yeah, now I'm looking for a job.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's what comes next.
Yes, I actually wanted um, to finish
Well, I
PhD.
didn't.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I didn't get the test, the writing test. I wasn't from the top three uh, participants. That's why. But next year, I will retry.
There you go.
Inshallah.
So,
Yeah,
writing test in French or in English?
French and English both.
Both.
Yes. I mean, it depends. Sometimes it's in English, communication. It's in both, half in French and half in English.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
the yeah, but the others are in French. But
Okay, so,
scientific words are both in English and French. They are the same.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
So where do you want to
that's
study?
it. My PhD.
Yeah.
Actually, here in Algeria, there's, I think, I don't know if I can call it a problem or not, but if I do my PhD in another country, it won't be recognized here unless it's like a scholarship um, given by the authorities and
I see.
combined with another country. Like if I don't know, let's say America, if the American authorities like open few position like PhD position in my field, and the Algerian authorities are combined with them, then it will be recognized.
I
So
see. Okay.
if I don't, if I won't do it here, that will be like 3 years not recognized here. It's a bit
Okay. So you don't want to waste 3 years.
confused. But I will definitely I will definitely want to do it outside. But we'll see. I don't know right now.
Okay. So what we're talking about in this series of classes
Yes.
is, as long as you don't know, you might as well envision what you'd really like, right?
Yes.
So, and that doesn't have to be about a particular country, but it
Yeah.
could be if that's important to you. It's all up to you.
Yes.
Everything's up to us.
Exactly. Actually, the good thing is that if I do it, like not here in my country, I will probably have more opportunities
Okay,
during to the practice process.
that's true.
Yeah, that's the good point, the plus, if I can
Yes,
say that.
right.
So yeah, just a minute. I need to open the door to give them their phones.
Okay.
Just a second. Thank you.
So, Abu, do you think anybody else is coming, or should we launch and talk about? Okay, so
back.
good. So let's really work today on, thinking and beginning to become aware of what's most important to each of us in our desires. What is it that we really want the opportunity to do? What turns us on? What's your dream?
My dream.
Yeah, and then I'll ask Abu.
Let's start by Abu.
My dream is to become someone who is known in around the world, and someone who can help also those who are in need. Whatever problem you have, the first
Mhm.
person you can think is, let me go to Abu and he will help me. This is my dream, to help everyone.
Okay.
Yes.
Just like you did right now.
Uh-huh.
Well, for me, I think that to be successful in whatever I'm going to entrepreneur in, like, I think that's that's my dream, I think. Because failure is something that is so not good.
What is
And failure,
favors?
that failure.
Failure. Okay,
Yes,
failure.
failure,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Not to not be in, of course, we need to fail to succeed sometimes, but that feeling is a bit I don't know how to say it,
It's
but
really
yeah,
unpleasant.
exactly. So being
And
successful is one of my dreams.
okay, and how do you define being successful?
Mm,
What does that mean to you?
what does that mean to me? Right now is to, let me just say on my studies and the microbiology world. Right now, especially here in my country, uh, to find a job in my field is a bit difficult, especially this year. So to find a job in my specialty and in to work on it and to be successful on it, like to get to a point where I'll say, oh, that was my dream and I did it. Especially in the research field, because here we don't do that much research.
Mm.
Lately we started doing it, but yeah, I think that to work in one of the WHO laboratories is kind of one of my I don't know if dream or objective.
Okay.
Yeah, right now. That's what came to my mind.
Yeah, but think a little bit long term. What like Abu had a really long term goal, which we're going to
I
talk
think
about.
that I think that working on short-term objective will be more realistic
Uh-huh. And why
for
is that?
me, because and I need to find words because my English is a bit
Your English is very good. Just keep going.
yeah. I think that we are not going to be alive for forever.
That's true. That's very
That's
true.
true. So I think that I'll work like small objectives,
Mhm.
small dreams, one by one, until I get to the big one. Will be more
Okay.
realistic for me.
Okay.
That's why short terms, if I get to that age and I'm still alive, I will think about doing more.
Okay, so
But
I'll tell you what happened to me. That was
okay.
basically my strategy. And my definition of success was that I would be a research project leader and I was going to publish a book. And I was about 38 years old when that happened. I was still young.
Of course, young. We're young at 38.
Well, I was, because I'm a lot older than that now. But it was a big disappointment afterwards because I had achieved my dream. Then what? Think about that. I think you're frozen. And okay, so did you hear me say that?
No, please, can you repeat?
I said that
I didn't
that
hear
point-
anything. I stopped at the 38.
yeah, I achieved my dream. But, I was still young. I still had a lot of energy and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I had to think about it long and hard. What really was my dream? It wasn't just about, achieving those material milestones. And I also, Abu, thought that, yes, I wanted to be world famous. And I reached a point, and it was again in my 30s, even while I was in the process of achieving my dream, when I realized that what I was achieving was not world fame. And I mean, it was success, but not on a worldwide scale. And so again, I was disappointed in myself. Because, and I now realize, geez, becoming famous, well, there's a lot of ways, a lot of reasons to become famous, and not all of them really mean anything positive. So I'd say you both might want to think a little bit more in depth about, what do you really see yourself doing? Helping others, I can tell you also that whenever I can figure out how to help other people, it feels really good.
Of course.
And that feeling I'm happy with forever. I could do that kind of thing and just be really happy and feel fulfilled. That there's something about being part of helping people to be happier, to be more successful, to solve problems of everyday life, even to keep the water flowing in their house, to, that kind of material kind of help, keep the heat on. When you feel that you're helping people, any way of helping is very helpful, feels good. And it took me a long time to really understand that and to realize, okay, that's basically what it's all about. So the basic question that I now ask myself is, okay, how can I help somebody else right now? So A, Yeah, it's important to know what you enjoy doing, what you're good at doing,
Yes.
and enjoy doing that in the present moment. Because that's really where happiness comes from. Now, I always thoroughly enjoyed learning languages and learning and being able to communicate with people in different languages and different cultures.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm doing, finding ways to do that. And
Yes.
it's been pretty amazing in my life that I have found many ways to do that. So that's where I expect that, Abu, your interest in export and import in international business is is a way to help people to communicate with people across cultures, right?
Yes. Yes. This is right. Because
And
this. Yes. Go ahead.
and to earn a living, because that's something else we have to do. Somewhere in that process is we need to figure out how to exchange energy so that we're getting what we need in order to buy groceries and a house. And if children are part of our enjoyment, to start a family. So that's a part of the equation. And so, it's simple and yet it's not. So let's come back to thinking about microbiology. What is it about microbiology that rewards you, that satisfies you?
Please, can you just ask the question again? My internet is
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
bad today. I don't know why.
you froze a couple of times. Yeah. What is it about microbiology that satisfies your soul? What do you love about it?
I think that being able to, like, as a microbiologist, when you see like a fruit or a phone or anything in your head, you know that there is something that you know that exists, but nobody else knows about it. That's something.
Okay.
That's what satisfies me as a microbiologist. Like when someone is talking on the phone, I'm like, he don't know that his phone has a lot of bacteria, and now he's talking, all these bacteria will enter his ears and infection and
Okay.
so that's good.
Okay. And how are you interested in using microbiology to make something better in the world?
Actually, I was thinking about a little cute project about using like milk industries. The second product, if I can say, is like a dish for them,
Yeah.
rubbish for them, but that I can use, that is not safe for the environment, that I can use to produce something that we now hear about a lot, and a lot of sportive men are talking about and use and consume a lot, which is proteins, and produce some protein shakes, protein powder that can be used in protein shakes or protein bars.
Okay.
Yes,
Interesting.
it's a bit out of the microbiology, but in fact, like in deep, there is some industrial microbiology.
Mhm.
So that's a project that is in my mind.
Yeah, and that's certainly a question that is going to keep occurring, is how we can feed people.
Yes, especially people in need, people that don't eat well and don't have that percent of or quantity of each necessary
Right.
elements that needs. So that's
Yeah,
especially here in Africa.
absolutely. Yes, but certainly, I mean, I think that over time, worldwide, that is going to be a major
Yes,
issue
unfortunately.
because of the, keeping in balance with the earth
Yes,
while
unfortunately.
feeding people adequately. So, okay, you're onto
Yes.
something there. You're on.
Hope so. I need to work.
Yeah,
To
well,
work, get some money, and
need
start.
to work, but
Yes.
The thing about work is really play when we're into what it is that we're doing, when we're in the zone. It's great pleasure. It doesn't feel like work.
Work.
And when we're fascinated
Yes.
with it and we're inspired by what we're doing. So that's really an important aspect of creating our lives, is to really become aware of within ourselves, what is it that is our unique contribution
Yes.
to bettering
But
the world.
as a person, unfortunately, I have that thing that I can't enter anything if I'm not sure about it, which is normal, I think. I need to search to be sure that the industry is good, that I'm not going to fail. I think I have a problem with failure.
Well, okay, so what is failure? Besides not feeling happy with yourself, then blaming yourself.
Yeah. Failure, I think, like in my point of view right now, in this aspect of like entrepreneuring something, like if I open this in this industry and like won't get to that point, like if I don't know how to say it. Let me just think about it a minute.
Okay. Did Abu go away? Yep, he did. So yeah, think about it.
Okay.
Because really, we're here, we're living our lives, and it's a wonderful opportunity. And we're here to feel joy and happiness and fulfillment. We really are.
And a little bit of stress.
Well, we're going to have challenges. And the reason I keep asking you about what do you mean by success and what do you mean by failure is that sometimes our biggest failures turn into our biggest opportunities.
Yes.
I mean,
like I didn't get my PhD, but maybe I'll get a better job.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, I got my PhD. I wanted to get my PhD. And I didn't manage it the first time or the second time. But
Really?
I finally got it. Yeah.
Um,
The first time I was in France and I was studying applied linguistics, which is, you know, a combination of psychology and communication. And I had done, 2 years of coursework and was starting on my dissertation. Dissertations are hard. But what happened at that point was that my my supervisor, who was, full professor at the University of Nancy, was killed in an auto accident. And in France, and especially because I was a foreign student, your degree work is dependent on your supervisor. So I would have had to start over again because he was killed. And I did have to start over again. So at that point, I came back to the US, and I had a fellowship at a university in the United States. And I stayed there for 2 years, did all my coursework, and I was, in French linguistics in that program. And when it came time to take the preliminary exams, I don't believe this happened, but it did. The professor who was in charge of linguistics had become very unpopular with the other professors in the French department. And they decided they were going to punish him by refusing to allow his students to pass the exam. And so they gave us a literature exam, which of course we hadn't studied for and didn't want to study for, and we all flunked. So that was that.
That was hard.
Went the second opportunity. And finally, the third one, it was really wild. I had gotten married and I'd moved and I was in a different city. And I taught at a university. And in the States, you can take time off after 7 years of teaching. So I got to the 7th year, and I found that there was an expert in linguistics at the university, not where I was teaching, but another university in that city. So, and they had a program where you could design your own PhD program. So I went there and talked to this guy who was not teaching in any department. He was the president of the university. And we designed a program in the psychology department. I'd also studied psychology in France, so I had the background. And I had to do 1 year of studies in the psychology department. And then it was time again to do a dissertation. And by this time, I was no longer really a student. I had a teaching position. I continued my research in French language. I discovered that near where we lived, there was a community of French-speaking people who had been there since the 1720s. And some of those people still spoke French. But after 300 years, it had become its own brand of French. And so as a linguist, and as a psychologist, I ran 2 grant programs to research the culture and the language, and wrote a full description of the dialect, the syntax, and all of the other aspects of it. Outside of my degree activities, And my dissertation that I was officially doing for the university, I couldn't finish it. I didn't have the energy. I wasn't, I wasn't that interested in it, frankly.
Yeah.
But my supervisor called me in and said, Rosemary, I am leaving in 2 months. I am going to Germany. I'm not coming back. You need to have your dissertation finished by
Oh
then.
my God, in 2 months.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't think I can do that. But I've been doing these other, research projects that are of national importance. And one of them has been to do a complete description of a small dialect and its culture. Could I use that as my dissertation? And he said, yes.
Well, you had a great chance.
So I finally got my PhD as a result of that.
Fine, after 3 years.
Well, actually, it was, I was going to get my degree originally in France in 1969. And this was in 1979. So
Not 3 years.
it was
Much more.
a lot more.
Yeah.
And by that time, it didn't make any difference in my employment that I finally got it. It just got that goal off my list.
Plan.
I was done. And as a part of that, I published 2 books right then. And, I really, in that moment, achieved everything that I had worked toward in my life thus far. And so it was really like, okay, what do I do now? And it was really interesting. It was a big life lesson. So I failed twice at that. I succeeded, but kind of by backing into it. Along with that, I succeeded in other goals that I'd had in mind. They just came, I got asked to publish the book. And it was like, okay. And then I was done.
In Algeria, we have, it's like a proverb or something. They say, Telta tepta. Like the third time will definitely be the one.
Yeah, we have that too. Third time, we say third time's the charm.
Third time, the charm. Okay, I know that.
Yes. So, but there was something about the fact that I had made that a goal, that was part of my definition of myself, that I needed to finish and receive my PhD. And, that in itself had energy.
Yes.
I couldn't not do it. I had to keep trying until I managed it.
Did you get it? Yeah.
So there's a big power to desire and to accepting a desire. And I've also learned throughout my life that if I dream bigger than me, I can't dream big enough to, change the whole world. I tried it. And I realized in my 30s, there was no way I was going to get there. So that seemed like a failure, but it was just.
But you could change your life, your environment.
It was an adjustment, let's say.
Yeah.
So I've had other failures too, but in failing is often where I have succeeded because I've learned more.
A lot.
I've learned a lot, yes.
Yeah.
So failure, it feels crummy, at the moment, it feels like, oh, and you get mad and you get really sad, and you don't have to stay in that feeling.
Yeah. You have to wake up and work again, all over again, until
Yeah,
you get what you want.
right. And then, and having a goal does keep you, and you will over your life have to choose other goals, I expect. I think most people do.
Yeah.
But what I'm learning is that up to a point, that the more other people I can involve in what I dream of doing, the more satisfying it actually turns out to be over time. If it's just all about me, yeah, it's really disappointing, and I have to pick myself up and figure out another way to go on. But it doesn't have the same kind of staying power, the same kind of fulfillment power as when I've found a way to work with a bunch of people on something that helps a lot of people. Doesn't have to help everybody in the world, but at least more people than me, and probably more people than me and my family.
Yeah.
So that in itself is a big motivating factor for bringing satisfaction. Is how can I think beyond myself and really work with other people toward helping a bunch of people. And that brings a lot of fulfillment and a lot of satisfaction.
Definitely. Helping, I think that there's a study where they mentioned that when you help someone else, there's like a hormone that is produced and which make you feel satisfied.
Yes.
That's why.
Right. And there's, it's the world is more than the physical things that we can see and hear. There is an energy that's, mysterious, that's beyond us. And, when we're connecting with that, it's very fulfilling. So, yeah, I mean, scientists now, quantum scientists, are, slowly discovering how what we think as individuals, that the energy that we create in the world, that it really physically makes a difference out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So, that's basically, that's the idea behind Living Peace Now, is, okay, if we can engage a bunch of people in creating friendly relationships and inner peace, that will make a difference on energy, and not in a local way, but it just helps. That's a way to help the earth.
Yes, really.
So I'm still trying to make the world a better place, even though I realized in my 30s that, okay, I'm not ever going to be world famous for what I do. And it's okay. I don't need to be.
Yeah, being too famous will kind of affect you as a person. Maybe it will change your point of views, your way of thinking,
Right.
but
yeah. But
maybe it will change you as a person.
But what life is really all about is not about being well known or famous or rich. It's about how much love,
how much happy.
Yes, how much
satisfied.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. That's what happiness is. And we don't need a whole lot in material terms to fulfill the basic needs to have food and water and shelter and clothing, you know. But it can be really simple, and it's fine as long as those needs are met.
Yeah,
And peace, inner peace is a need too. So,
definitely, especially these times.
yep. So, I don't know if Sabrina has managed to find the book, but it's an old and well-known book. It's been in print since the 1930s, and it seems really materialistic. It's about money, but it's not.
Yeah,
But it's not really about money. It's about
yeah,
satisfaction, and the
Mm.
principles are the principles. You know, and what he talks about is there is a huge flow of energy that we're all part of. And so, one basic principle is stay connected to the flow of energy. Allow it. Don't um, don't get all wound up in your own self-focused desires, because that separates us from the flow of energy. So one aspect of our awareness is staying present and allowing in the flow. And basically what that means is that when things happen that seem like a failure, we do need to just, say, okay, that's okay. I can still function. I am still able to love, and I'll find another way. And then his second chapter is about desiring and how powerful that is. And I can attest to that. And my PhD story is one illustration that
definitely.
what we desire becomes part of our life. And so, it makes sense to desire something worthwhile and satisfying.
Definitely, I think that when we want something, like we truly want something, it's not like because something else has that thing, maybe I want it, but in deep me, I don't want it, I don't need it. It's not something that I feel like without that thing, I won't live, I won't be happy, I won't be, I
Right.
don't know. That's the thing. If we truly want something, we'll definitely get it, but we have to work for it.
Well, we need to keep wanting it, and we need to keep believing that it's possible.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. Like to, even if like there's a bunch of stuff that will make you feel like you're not going to do it, you're not enough, and
Yeah.
maybe it's not gonna work.
Right.
We as a person need to find in the deep us the that thing that made us want that and desire that thing, and
Right.
keep holding on it so we can finish and get to the point.
Yep.
That's the
Exactly.
hardest thing.
Exactly. And the other really important thing that comes to mind in this context is I think all of us are really willing to believe that we ourselves are failures. It's something that we learn as a little kid. It's one of our first decisions about life. Oh man, I'm terrible at that. I am a failure. And that is not true. That's not how we're made. We are all human beings, just like all, even bugs, all beings, all creatures. We are perfect and beautiful and deserving.
Yeah.
And we need to be willing to allow ourselves to be happy and to know that we deserve to be happy, and that as we are made, even if we're different from everybody else, and we're all different from everybody else.
Yeah, that's what makes us us.
That's right. And that is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. Unfortunately, human beings have this desire to be better than everybody else. And that means putting everybody else down. So it's really important to believe that, okay, I can be happy. There's nobody against me. I am meant to succeed.
Definitely. The thing is, we need to keep all this in our mind every time that we think that we are not there, we're not good enough, we're not happy, we're not gonna make it.
Right.
Yeah, so we can get one step ahead.
Yeah.
And
right.
To not stick in that moment of an happy moment or a satisfied moment.
We
definitely.
Have those. Yeah. It's like, okay, I don't want to stay here.
I want to get,
yeah. So I need to change my thinking into something positive.
Exactly.
Personally, I find that if I just look around and find everything I can think of to be grateful for.
Definitely. We can stick like, I have a family that loves me, that appreciate me. I have good friends. I have my degree. I need to keep looking for a job. Better companies are going to get me. That's the spirit that we need to have.
Yep. And that is the way out of bad feeling. And sometimes we have to do it with a lot of intention. But, the possibility is always there that when we turn to gratitude, it gets us out of feeling bad.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, we definitely, I think that it's necessary to pass by situations like these so we can go ahead and start over or to continue the journey.
Yeah.
I think.
Find other ways.
Yeah, maybe you're not doing it the right way. Change the method.
It's kind of like what we envision and desire has the power, the life power of water.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played with a stream of water. Tried to obstruct it. It's not possible. The water always finds a way through. Any obstacle you can put in its way, it will penetrate.
Yeah, that's true. I've never thought about this or played with this.
And you can experiment with it as much as you want. The water always, if it's flowing water, it always finds its way through. Might take a while, but it always comes through.
True.
Yeah. So that's basically what we're dealing with, is a flow of energy.
Yes,
that's as powerful as water. if not more so.
Yes, I think that if we can like demonstrate it with friends, I think we feel the difference when we are in a group with good friends that are always positive and always try to push you up. And when you change the group or you're with other friends that are kind of toxic, that always try to get you to the bottom
Mhm.
and not always criticizing you and always try to find like the bad point or the bad idea in all whenever you're talking about or entrepreneuring or doing. I think that's the thing. If we can demonstrate the flow of energy.
Yep, absolutely. So
So
between now and next week, think about that flow of energy. And
okay.
you're, it's a life force. It's, water is one way that it demonstrates that force, but we all have it in us, not as water, but as energy. So, think about that energy in you and
Okay.
how it wants to come out and express itself, not only in the future, but right now. Because the
Yeah, I'll
future,
definitely try to.
the future is actually, that's another big topic, is the flow of time. It's always flowing. And there's no point there, either in the future or in the past. The flow is always right here, right now. So we need to make it a part of our attention right here, right now.
Yeah,
Lots
to
to think
live the
about.
moment
Yep, exactly.
and enjoy it.
So I'm out of time.
Yeah.
So
I didn't notice that.
so
Okay.
I hope that you will enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Playing.
I'm actually I don't know if I can speak right now. We still have like 3 minutes. I actually um, find it like a therapy because when I graduated and then I officially stepped out from university on November. So then the COVID-19 and I couldn't like find an opportunity like right now because laboratories and all medical or industries that are related to my field are kind of not uh, disponible. We use this word in English.
Or what? I didn't hear you hear the
Disponible.
word. Disponible. Or available.
Yeah, available. I know available. I forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not available right now, like to open a new positions.
Right.
So I started looking at new opportunities online, and
Cool.
I found you. So I found you, and I found Turkish classes. So right now I'm doing both English and Turkish to fill
Good.
my free time.
Well, that's
So
good because if you think about the context of life, of your life,
yeah,
if you are able to communicate in more idioms,
yeah,
in more languages, you'll have
languages. Yeah,
more
definitely.
opportunities. So that's a very positive.
Yeah. So I consider it as a therapy. English therapy, and then Turkish therapy,
There
and
you
then
go.
the word,
Yep,
the real word here.
exactly.
So thank you.
Okay, so you might want to think about if, if you feel drawn to become a conversation exchange person.
Yeah, I think that I have to master both languages first. Then
So what is your native language is French, right?
no, Arabic.
Arabic, okay.
Yeah, Arabic and then French. French because here in Algeria we learned French since
Since you were little.
yeah, exactly. Since I was my
Yeah.
second language is
Right,
French.
exactly. So if you were willing, for instance, to be a conversation partner for somebody who wants to learn to speak French better, who speaks English, that would give you a chance to exchange, what we do is we set up an hour of conversation and half of it's in one language and half of it's in the other. And I've done that. It's fun.
Yeah.
You keep the conversation going, you just shift languages in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I can do the three, the French, the English, Turkish, Arabic, I think four.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, that would be helping someone else
Yeah, definitely.
who speaks English to become better in French, if you'd be willing to.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I said, if you were willing to
Yeah.
offer a conversation exchange, say in
Yeah.
French and English.
Okay.
We have English-speaking people who want to learn better French and French-speaking people who want to learn better English. So, so that's a way of, helping someone else out while you're helping yourself.
Okay. Do you think that my English will help me or is good enough?
I think that the more I know from my own experience in French, that the more time you spend conversing in a foreign language, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
And your English is good enough that conversation, the unexpectedness of conversation is what you really need.
Yeah.
You know the basic rules.
Yeah.
And you've got skill in conversing. Conversing with you is pleasant and agreeable for an English speaker. But I know from comments that you've made that you're not totally comfortable using English in conversation. And
yeah, because here I don't really find people to practice with, especially since I stepped out from university. So
yeah,
it's a bit complicated.
Right.
That's why I came to you.
Yeah, there you go. And actually, it's really interesting. I taught university French for a long time. And I knew that after you graduate from university and you've taken a foreign language, I knew for myself that when I actually went to France and thought, okay, now I get to use it. I really needed to work on it a lot more before I was comfortable speaking it in everyday conversation. Yeah. So basically, people now are becoming more aware of that and want to and can, through technology, find partners to speak with and become friends with across languages and across countries. Which is
I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. The exchanging cultures.
Precisely.
And, way of living in other countries that maybe you didn't have the opportunity to visit. That's a good thing. I like that.
Yes. So you found your people. That's what I think everybody who comes to Living Peace now is interested in.
Yeah. I like the concept of it, and that's why.
Well, everybody who has studied foreign languages knows that what's fascinating about it is that you really begin to learn, oh, there's many ways of living, and they're all okay, and they add to our experience of life. And so just because people are in a different culture, we can't label them as being somehow stupid or bad. You know, they're just people living in a different culture, and we can be friends.
Exactly.
And
So I'm not going to hold you in more than that, especially that here in a few minutes.
Yes, right.
We have to.
So anyway, that's what this idea is all about. Is
Yeah.
the more people get to meet each other across languages and get to know each other as friends, the more peaceful vibes there are in the world.
Yeah, definitely, especially these days.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of yeah.
So are you signed up on our website?
Yeah.
Did you register on Living Peace Now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. So
thank you.
Enjoy meeting different guides, different teachers, and I will tell Sabrina that you would be willing to be a conversation partner, and she will be in touch with you to put you together with somebody.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, and it's been great speaking with you, and
the pleasure is mine.
Getting to know you a little bit.
Thank you so much.
And I look forward to doing that again.
Okay, see you next Wednesday.
Yes, all right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye.